Hello and welcome back to another edition of Kiss My A's. I'm Emma Cownley and this week I'll be telling you how to write a blog post like the professionals do. I'm going to be covering how to find topics, how to properly structure your post, how to create an outline and how to write it so that it looks far less amateurish. I understand that a lot of businesses don't have the budget for anybody in a social role or a copywriter and really need to write quality blog posts themselves. So this is for you. This is how you can do it properly. Just so that you know what exactly that means, I will tell you, to me, what stands out as being amateurish in a blog post. Basically, when I hit your site, how I know that you've written it yourself and not hired a professional. So your blog post will typically be very, very keyword stuffed, and obviously so. The copy will be in huge, great paragraphs, massive blocky chunks. There won't be a flow to the copy at all. The structure will be very erratic and the argument will be kind of difficult to grasp. Topics will typically jump all over the place and the end summary not very clear. And even if you do manage to nail the structure, the tone of voice is usually off. People tend to want to quickly bash the job out. They'll write it in their own voice, bash it out, upload it, forget about it, the job's done, tick it off the list. So this is how to do it and do it properly. First off, you've already got a content plan, obviously, because everybody needs a content plan for successful blogging. If you don't have one, I've written a blog post on how to create a rock solid content plan. I'll pop a link for you below. Go away, do a bit of research, come back and do this video, because you cannot have a successful blog without a content plan. A proper blog post has an incredibly simple structure. You start with an introduction where you introduce the topic of the post. You then move into the meat of the blog post where you substantiate your argument with evidence, and then you move in to the summary and the outro, where you neatly tie everything up in a cute little bundle. So it doesn't have to be a massive, huge, horrible, nasty job. This is how I do it, and it works for me every time. So you're gonna, number one, take a topic from your content plan. That's what your argument is. So in your introduction, just say, oh, today we're talking about blah, 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 blah. Then always move into a paragraph about why that is important, why it's relevant. It's no good saying, this is how you create suspense in your writing. That's all well and good, but if people don't know why suspense is important or why they need to learn that trick, why would they bother reading? It's not relevant to them. They've probably clicked through because they have an inkling that it's important, but you ideally need to tell them why. Your second paragraph will be, why is this important and relevant to you? This section, it's very crucial that you bring in supporting evidence. You can't just reel off facts and expect people to buy it on your word. Anyone can do that. It doesn't mean anything. Always substantiate it by going off and finding reputable sources. Now, if you're quoting from a textbook, say, include that citation. If you're quoting from a website, make sure it's a reputable site, a proper site, a site that has a little bit of clout behind it. It's also a good idea to check the date that the information was posted. If it's a really banging statistic, it may not matter so much that it's 3 or 4 years old. If you're writing about something that's current news, make sure all of your citations are current citations. Make sure you pop a link to it. No plagiarism. We're not about that life. Don't do that. Then you move into the meat of your blog post, the argument. I would always do this in lots of little subheaded sections so it's easy for people to read. Even if they don't read the entire post in its complete and full sexy glory, they're looking at those subheaders and they're taking away the main points. That's what you want. The attention span of the online reader is typically very, very low. So make sure that they're taking away your key points even if they don't read the whole shebang. So subheaders, and again, substantiate each point with proper statistical evidence. Then you come to your summary. you're going to run through everything and muddle it up and be like, so I said that suspense was important, and as we can see, this is why. Take the knowledge forward, use it for the good of mankind. And then I would always pop a little line in there to encourage some engagement, let them know what you expect them to do with the information. Drop a comment below, add your own ideas, share this, like this, and it ties it off quite nicely, I think. Now, as I've said before, blogging doesn't have to be absolute, complete and utter ball ache. The way that I like to do it when I have my nice content plan and everything laid out with perfectly relevant subjects for my readership, I go in, put my structure in, so that's what the title is, which bullet points I'm expecting to hit, my outro, and then I'll go away, find all of my links and evidence, drop those in, maybe with a couple of quotes, and then I'll go away and do other jobs for the day. Whenever I have a spare minute, I'll nip back in, have another little read, start to fill out a bit more, go away, come back, start to fill out a little bit more, until the whole thing is done. This is a much more manageable way to do it. Nobody has that half-day block chunk of time to write a blog post. It doesn't need to be that long, you guys. I don't know what you're doing, but damn! If you do have a free afternoon, by the way, it never hurts to go in and just bosh out a couple of outlines and schedule them all in nicely so that you can nip in and out. A nice healthy backlog of blog posts is very helpful. It ensures that the quality of the writing stays high and that you always have something to push out on time to your schedule, because we all know how important it is to stick to a schedule when you blog. It's no good pushing out a post whenever you feel like it. Doesn't work that way. You're not going to feel the benefit, you guys. It's like wearing a coat indoors when it's cold outside. You're not going to feel the benefit. And that is it. That is how to write a blog post like the professionals. As a bonus little piece of info, I will say that it helps to promote your blog post on your social platforms. And always remember that not all social platforms are created equal. You're going to have to reposition it and rewrite your promotional post depending on the social platform you're posting on. And always include a lovely sexy image that you've made up specially for it as well. And there you have it, writing a blog post like the professionals. If you have a question that you'd like me to answer in next week's video, drop me a comment below and I will get to that and answer it for you. Otherwise, you can call me out on Twitter at EJCownley and use the hashtag KissMyAs. Until next week, take care. Over and out. You're a problem.